Hi, Akshay,
Hi Ananya.
and hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Breakdown Besties Podcast, where we break down scripts and films just like you would in film school, giving ourselves and you the education we didn't quite receive. Together, we have about 14 years of experience writing for Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, with shows like Inside Edge, Rana Naidu, Mismatch, Wedding.com, Ishq in the Air under our belt. Today we will be breaking down another script from, was it 2010, I want to say, or
Yeah, I
earlier. Yeah,
I think this is
2010.
slightly earlier, slightly earlier.
Earlier? Okay, I was wrong. Actually, I'll tell you why this happened, why I was wrong. Because as
Okay.
you know, I don't pay for a streaming subscription platform. Like, I channel my movie watching experiences.
Yeah.
So there's a platform that I used to do that, and it said Badmaash Company, even though okay, so that's the movie we're doing, guys. Badmaash Company. We'll come back to that. But it said Badmaash Company there, and even
Huh.
the little synopsis it said like four hunky dory like college kids, blah blah blah. So I start playing it, and there's like this full like heist sequence type thing going on, and I'm like, yeah, like this is Badmaash Company, they have this going on, and then this person pulls off a disguise, and it's Vivek Oberoi, and I'm like, is he in this film? I'm like, maybe he had like some cameo. This is also like this conning type ka film only. Maybe they started with this heist to like set the tone and stuff. And then like I paused it after about 20
Is a
minutes. I'm like,
it's a
this is
it's a different film, no? It's
I think it was Dhoom 2 or something. Like not Dhoom 2.
uh
Someone else commented there in the synopsis कि ये बदमाश company नहीं है. And I'm like, right, right.
I think that's Dawn 2 or something. I
Dawn
don't know.
something. Yeah, yeah. There was a full diamond heist thing. This, that. And I made notes also. I'm like, on writing a heist scene, this is what you have to establish. So yeah. Today we will be looking at the scene film breakdown of Badmaash Company 2010, written and directed by Parmeet Sethi. Ooh, Akshay had a very interesting fact about like 3 seconds ago when I asked him, is Parmeet Sethi a man or a woman? And Akshay said,
It's Archana Puran Singh's husband. I mean, I can understand your confusion, Ananya, because it's like
yeah,
Parmeet is a Punjabi name, and most of the
no
times
way.
there's a confusion, no? Ki Manmeet, Jasmeet, Parmeet, what's this thing? But
And
yeah.
Akshay and Ananya get cancelled after 4 episodes of Breakdown Besties. Okay, so Badmaash Company. A little bit on the film. It is a bunch of four kids who decide that they are going to live the rich life and make money and scam the system. Very simple premise. I don't think there's much more to it.
Yeah, correct.
Hmm? Yeah.
Uh, that is it.
Yeah, that is it. They want to get make money and they realize the quickest way to do that is to scam the system. So going back to the log line, what is a log line? It is the one sentence that guides your entire film. It contains all the main elements, which are the foundational blocks of your film on which they're built. And whenever you're lost, you can't see the forest for the trees for the forests. I never know which one this is. Um, you go back to the log line, and it'll help you essentially get a bird's eye view of what your film is about and help you guide every scene. And why
Right.
does a log line do this so effectively? It's because it contains your four main elements which make up your film and then go on to make up every character, every scene, every piece of dialogue if it's well thought out and well written. So, what are those four elements of a log line? The four elements are the main character's flaw, it is the goal they're setting out to achieve, it is the conflict that they will face as they try to achieve this goal, and it's what's at stake. What do they set to like lose if they do not achieve this goal, right? So, with that said, I have a log line written out for Padmash Company,
Hmm.
and I am going to tell that out to you. And Akshay, you can audit it. You can tell me what doesn't work, what works. Okay.
Okay, go for it.
So, what I've got written down is when a group of fresh faced teenagers, not teenagers, why were teenagers? When a group of fresh faced college graduates
Hmm.
want to make a quick buck and live the rich life, They must learn how to effectively work the system incognito, lest they lose everything, including each other.
That's really nice. Like that last thing which you did was, I think, very nicely done. Because you don't think the film would go there, but it does. And I
Yeah.
think it only does because it's part of the log line that you very cleverly put in.
Now that you're saying this, I also feel like something's missing. When a group of, I've written fresh faced, not teenagers, college graduates,
Huh.
but what's important is for including each other at the end to land, that they will lose each other. We have to set
Huh.
up the fact that they're very tight, right, in the log
Hmm.
line.
So
So I think,
when
yeah.
when four best friends of something of that
Yeah,
sort,
when four fresh faced best friends,
yeah,
yeah, naive best friends. So, yeah.
huh,
So, breaking it down into the four elements that we have
yeah,
here, I think the flaw is that they're fresh faced.
hmm,
They don't have any experience, they're naive, know what they're doing. They kind of believe that they can get out into the world and do whatever they want to do. They want to make a quick buck and live the rich life. That is their goal. Then the conflict is they must effectively learn to work the system. They are fresh
hmm,
faced, but they need to
hmm,
learn to work the system. So that all exactly like provides conflict because most people who work the system have experience of working within the system before they work without or against it. And what's at stake is that they will lose everything, including each other.
hmm,
So should they not do this effectively?
yeah.
And those are the four elements of the log line that I have over here.
But let me ask you this: Ki,
Hmm.
the fact that they lose each other,
Hmm.
that's never something set up in the movie, has it?
No, I completely agree with you, especially because when you look at any film, there's
Yeah,
always a force, right, driving a character to do something.
yeah,
And if they don't do it, it's very obvious what they're going to lose. And
yeah,
that set up in Act One itself, before you cross the threshold, you're like, it almost motivates them, right? That if you don't
yeah,
do this, you're going to lose this. The
hmm,
stakes motivate you. But over here, there are no stakes set up. They're doing this क्योंकि job नहीं करना है.
huh,
And the
yeah,
stakes are essentially that what they gain, they will eventually lose. But they
yeah,
haven't gained that yet, also. So,
yeah,
absolutely, you're right. The stakes are not um, baked into the premise of the film.
yeah. What forces them to be out of the systems? Like,
Yeah,
like I would really like to have seen that. Why does that
yeah,
Shahid Kapoor's
yeah,
character make that choice for him? You know?
yeah. I mean, we can come to that in the hero's journey. It is there, but it is very
Oh,
forced in because we never go into that
hmm,
later.
hmm.
So, should we go into the hero's journey?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So, the ordinary world.
Hmm.
So, I think the ordinary world goes on for quite a long time. I'm going to skip over the opening image of setting up that we'll talk
Yeah.
about in terms of scenes and world. But the ordinary world is when they graduate from college, they go on a small scam, not scam, but like a customs avoidance trip, one of those trips.
Hmm.
So, yeah, the ordinary world goes on for a while where we set up that they're couriers for this customs sort of Jugaad. Anushka and Shahid's character come together. We know that they want to make money and get rich. And we know
Hmm.
that Shahid Kapoor has a beef with his dad. His dad
Hmm.
has always been in service, he's been an employee, but Shahid doesn't want to live that same day on repeat. He doesn't want to essentially live through Groundhog Day. So
Hmm.
he wants to do something different. So that is the ordinary world.
Yeah.
And I would say the call to action,
Hmm.
which they brought in here like you would in any other film where you want to show that the characters are good people
Hmm.
because they can't just be scammed, is when Shahid's dad has that heart attack. That is the call to action.
Hmm.
Once his dad has the heart attack and he hears of the shoe thing,
Hmm.
that is when he realizes that there is more money to be made. So the
Hmm.
call to action is his dad getting the heart attack and him going to Archie Bhai and Archie by giving them the idea or just giving them the same statement that shoes at 100% value have like two pair of shoes has 100% value, but a single shoe has 0% value. And that's when
Hmm.
the wheels in his head start turning. And that's also when you meet the mentor. So the call to action and meeting the mentor is tied in together. While we've
Hmm.
seen Archie Bai before in the ordinary
Yeah.
world, he doesn't come in as the capacity of a mentor. But once he
Hmm.
gives the idea here, he does come in as the mentor.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that is what I have in terms of ordinary world, call to action, meeting the mentor, and the refusal of the call. So, in
Hmm.
terms of refusal of the call, I don't think Shahid's character Karan ever refuses the call. It is
Hmm.
Anushka's character who he pitches the idea to, and she's just like, screw you, we're not doing this. Like,
Hmm.
but then she goes into her modeling meeting and she gets
Hmm.
propositioned, and she's like, okay, no, we have
Hmm.
to do this. And she comes back and
Hmm.
says, okay, this is it. So
Yeah.
that is essentially the first act where they switched around meeting the mentor, moved it
Yeah.
up a little bit. But
Hmm.
Shahid also in this film, and I know you'll have a comment here, takes
Hmm.
on the role kind of the mentor. Because we've spoken about this in previous episodes, where it's always the woman who ends up being the mentor, the woman who has to change the man. But
Yeah.
in this film, Anushka Sharma is not playing that role of the mentor
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
considering even though they've followed a lot of tropes of the characters of that time of the female characters of that time, but
Yeah.
she's not coming in to save the day. It is Shahid's character who is still
Hmm.
playing the role of the hero and the mentor.
Hmm. That is true. And I actually also thought the Jazz Mamu in America was
Hmm.
also in some sort the mentor because he comes at this time. He's the one who gives them the first paycheck to like buy
Yeah.
the shoes and all. So
Yeah.
I actually equated the mentor figure to this and not to
uh,
either Shahid or Anushka's character.
right. I definitely see Jazz Mamu as an ally. That's
Hmm.
for sure. A
Hmm.
mentor is someone who I think gives you more advice, who has been on the path that you want to go on and
Hmm.
guides you through it. So
Hmm.
he doesn't provide just physical resources, which is
Right.
essentially what Jazz Mamu does, right, throughout the course of
I
the
thought
film.
I thought he also because like he saves them out of the jail. He gives them the job later on.
Gives
I
him a
thought
job for sure. Yeah.
yeah. So and maybe in the hero's journey it just fit at the right time. So I just like
Yeah.
put, equated that.
Yeah. He's like a wise elder sort of character, but
Hmm.
I would disagree when it comes to mentor, because the
Hmm.
role of the mentor from a structural point of view, I'm not talking about a character trope point of view, that is different. From a
Yeah.
structural point of view, a mentor is someone who gives you the push. Like, I
Huh.
have been on this journey, you can go on it too.
Two. Hmm.
And in that sense, over here, it is Archie Bhai's character.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. And then we have entering the first act, crossing the threshold, which, according to me, is the full sequence of going to Thailand,
Yeah.
coming, getting the shoes, sending half the shoes to Madras, half the shoes to
Yeah.
Calcutta. And then they go to the separate warehouses of the port trust. They check the mal. They pretend that they're distraught and cut up about it being only the left shoe and the right shoe. Then they go to the auction. They get both of them back and they sell it to Archie Bhai, who retails
Hmm.
it and knows
Yeah.
that he's going to monopolize the markets in India at this. So this is your crossing the threshold, right?
So basically, the first con of sorts,
Yeah, their
uh,
first successful con.
the first successful con would you'd call as the crossing of the threshold.
Crossing the threshold, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
fair, same. That's what exactly I have that. Yeah.
all right. Then test allies and enemies.
Hmm.
Okay, so over here, I see test allies and enemies as them getting like the office, them celebrating getting the office, getting caught by the port trust agent who recognizes them in their disguise. That is a small enemy,
Yeah.
but they manage to win him over by giving him a cut.
Yeah. I thought that was like getting an ally, like
Yeah,
turning an
enemy into
enemy into
ally.
an ally. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
very common trope in like when you're setting up the challenges of a business world. Like it's
Yeah.
always that. I don't think that has changed across the years where,
Yeah.
oh, I will give you money. Okay, now I am your friend. Now what they do is they'll make him a double agent. That, oh,
Yeah.
actually, I was never
Yeah.
on your side, and that'll become the trickster trope. But
Yeah.
yeah, and
Correct.
I believe even the duty dropping, the liberalization bit from
Hmm.
120% to 20% is still part of the test's allies and enemies
Oh, I actually thought that was
approach
before.
to the innermost cave.
Yeah, I thought that. So that's when they decide ki like it gives them the push that they might have to like now go go to the US and do something else, you know?
I did think about that.
Hmm.
I had written it down as, approach to the innermost cave. But then I
Hmm.
really thought about the world of this film. I'm going
Hmm.
to digress here a little bit to talk about the world. It is set in 1990s India, just
Hmm.
literally after liberalization over here. And back then, the sentiment was that to make it, you have to go abroad. Like India's
Hmm.
opening up, yes, it's great, but it was the time of the great American dream still.
Hmm. Hmm.
So for them to live out the rich life, the
Hmm.
next organic step is moving to America once liberalization has been put into this, because their whole thing is built on uh, duty arbitrage, right?
Right.
Scamming, all of that.
Hmm.
And once duties are not in place, they need to go somewhere where they can do this. So where do they
Hmm.
go? They go to the land of dreams, and that is the approach to the innermost cave: is scamming the
Hmm.
US. Like
Hmm.
doing this to like white people.
Right.
And what I see as the ordeal is
Hmm.
when even that doesn't work,
Hmm.
and they have to then pivot it, like when they start getting caught there. Once they go to
Hmm.
America, they become successful.
Hmm.
But then Jazz Mamu calls them and says that, look, I have people, a buyer saying that, you scammed him and you
Hmm.
only deliver right gloves. And Shahid
Yeah.
gets defensive and he says that, why did he pay me? If I
Hmm.
only gave him right handed gloves when they
Yeah.
switch from shoes to gloves.
Yeah.
And but then they realize that, okay, we are getting really successful, but now we have a problem. This is when they
Yeah.
actually have a problem and they have to change the scam. And
Yeah.
that's when they pivot to the bank. And that is the
Hmm.
ordeal.
Yeah.
So this is the
Correct.
sequence of events that I have based on the world. Because I went about it like a lot. You'll see this like cancel this, cancel like this, because I was like,
Yeah.
what is this according to this? So I had to come and like rewrite the whole thing to figure out what is the approach to the innermost cave. And the approach to the innermost cave is getting the prize that they want, which I believe is earning in dollars. When they get that $1
Hmm.
million check,
Yeah. Yeah.
that is the approach to the innermost cave. And the ordeal is when they are getting caught for that. And the
Hmm.
reward is when they overcome that ordeal by going into the bank, scamming the banks by
The
getting a
housing
loan and
scam.
reselling the house. Yeah, reselling the
Uh,
house. And the money they make off that is the reward.
that's very interesting. Even I've written the housing scam as the reward.
Yeah. So, yeah, the points, I just want to mark out the points in the hero's journey,
Hmm.
essentially.
Yeah.
So the approach to the innermost cave is when they are carrying out the gloves,
Hmm.
and the ordeal is when they're on the brink of being caught for the glove scan,
Ha.
and they have to pivot and they go into the bank scam, and the
Hmm.
reward is carrying out the bank scam successfully.
Hmm. Correct.
These are
Yeah.
the three means. Right?
Yeah.
And then the road back.
Hmm.
The road back is when they're going back with the rewards. So the housing scam is successful, the bank scam is successful, but they still face challenges
Hmm.
because their transformation is not complete. And I think
Yeah.
this is a very long sequence in the film where they have transformation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally,
So
in films, this is a very small moment, the road
small
back.
moment, the road back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just
But they've
literally
got,
pre
yeah,
climax, like before the actual climax sequence sets in. It's a
yeah,
actually just one scene. In most films, it's this is a one scene thing.
one scene. Yeah. But
Yeah.
here it's several scenes where Chang's character beats up his girlfriend and throws her out. His drinking gets out of control. Never established that in his character. That I didn't think he was like a beater upper guy, but yeah. Then you have Anushka and Shahid fighting about the green card, which we'll come back to because that's a very good bit of the world building they've done,
Yeah.
even if slightly. left field and not set up before.
Yeah.
Then they have the fight between Veer Das's character. Also, Veer Das, can we take a moment?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so surprised and I loved it. I loved seeing him in the film.
Yeah.
And it's like this was 16 years ago. I mean, now he's like performing at Carnegie Hall and all. Back then, he was Chandu in Badmaash Company. Like, there is hope for all of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, that's what, like, remember this happened with when we watched Munna Bhai also, and we
And
saw
Nawaz.
Nawaz's character in that one
Yeah.
small scene, and we see him
Yeah.
now, like, nominated for an international Emmy. And which is the
Yeah.
same with Veer Das, like, he got nominated for an
Yeah.
international Emmy. It just feels amazing.
I think, yeah.
Uh, but, and 16 years is such a long time. Like, Veer Das looks like a baby in the film.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah.
He does.
And when
But
I look back on his time a little bit, like he did do these small movies. Like he was there in um, what is that DK Bose movie?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That
That
Imran Khan movie, huh?
Imran Khan
Delhi
movie.
Belly,
Yeah.
Delhi
Delhi
Belly.
Belly. Yes.
and and I remember he had a very small scene in Namaste London also. He's one of Katrina Kaif's suitors when she goes to meet, and I thought that was very
Hmm.
funny Veerdas scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool for Veerdas.
Hmm. Nice. Yeah. So that is the road back where everything
Yeah,
frays, and he literally goes back. He goes back home to India.
yeah,
So great visual representation of the road back.
yeah.
And when he comes back, we have the
But
resurrection, right?
I just want to take a pause.
Yeah.
Like the it doesn't feel organic, no? Like,
No. No.
the road back just happened just by the way. Like, there was no purpose for him to go to India. Like, sure, he wanted to see his family, but it was just like he saw them, got very emotional, and just came back.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was no interaction with anybody. And sure, that moment happened with his dad,
Hmm.
where he saw the speech and all. But even the phone call with his mother, like, I thought it was quite random.
Yeah, there's no relationship between them really established other than in like the initial parts of the film, and it doesn't continue as a thread through the film, so it doesn't land when they pull it back.
Yeah.
It's quite forced in there, yeah.
And more than that, even when he breaks down on the call, it's not because he's breaking down because he's hearing her voice after a long time. No,
Mhm.
it's because his group has left him.
Yeah,
But what I was missing, one more scene, was that of him feeling alone and helpless and clueless. And
yeah. To
that's when
motivate
he
calling his mom. Yeah,
motivate calling his mom. That didn't happen.
that didn't
And
happen.
and that I missed that, a little bit.
Definitely, yeah, yeah. It's not perfect, but
Yeah.
it's I don't blame people for not making perfect films. We know what
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
into it.
And while I'm speaking also, it
Yeah.
almost makes me question that, was it needed, or like it was
Or
needed for me, but
yeah,
like how much do you want to add 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1? Sometimes
exactly,
that's a tricky
exactly.
call you have to make as a filmmaker, ki how much do you explain and over explain?
For sure, for sure. And maybe वो edit में cut गया, like it might have
Yeah,
been there in the script. They might have even
yeah,
shot it, but
yeah,
they're like, we don't need it because maybe, especially in our Indian culture where we never grow up and grow out of our parents, calling your mom does end up being that reaction, right? Like
yeah,
when you fall down also right now and you hurt yourself, the first thing that comes out of your mouth is like mama, like.
yeah, yeah,
So I feel like that is just a representation of that feeling where it's
yeah,
like माँ को ही phone करेगा. As much as you might not have a relationship, you
yeah,
know that they're always going to be there. So I think they're playing on the cultural sentiment of mother and family here. So they didn't
for,
feel the need to over-explain
for
that.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think, okay, let's go on to the next plot, the point of the hero's journey, and I'll say my point, huh?
Okay, okay. So the next point is the resurrection when he ends
Hmm.
up going to jail. He serves out his time. It's his what do you call it? What's the other word for resurrection? The dark night of the soul, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's where he comes out of jail, he starts working for Jazz Mamu, he does a normal job. You see him living the low life again. He's riding a bicycle, he's eating shawarma on the streets, on the steps of the same buildings where he once went in to do big deals. He he's alone and he's working hard and he's making an honest living.
Hmm.
And that is his resurrection, right?
Yeah.
That's
I also think the beat after that, when like they do wrong by his mama, and
yeah, yeah,
now he decides that, oh, I'm gonna take matters in my own hand the old ways.
yeah.
Like, that's the culmination of the entire resurrection sequence.
Resurrection for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
Anushka comes back. That's the end of it. Like Anushka comes back into his life. Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Separately.
That's
Separately.
different cultural commentary on, oh, you're my baby daddy, so now
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
to get back together.
And the way she says, ki, I know you're fine, I know you're this and that. Uh, but like, they met by accident. It's not like,
No, no, I think Jazz Mamu set that up.
oh,
That was my read on the situation of the scene
that,
that Jazz.
that makes sense. But I'm like, why wouldn't you just come to his office? Like, why orchestrate
Mm.
this whole thing? Like, it just feels
She
so.
wanted some drama in her life. She's becoming a mom. There's nothing going on. She's like, how can I do this creatively? She was thinking like a screenwriter.
But it's so. She's being a single mom. Like, that's enough drama from society.
But she's in New York. She doesn't have any friends, clearly. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't
That's
know.
the thing about these. I was reading on Instagram that how many, so many movies have come, decades and decades of movies have come where the female lead, or slash the love interest, has no support system whatsoever,
Yeah,
no friends, no
yeah,
siblings, no families, and it holds true for so
true. Yeah.
many movies,
Oh,
so
yeah,
many
yeah.
movies.
Even
And
until today, like I was watching The Materialists, and I'm like, why don't you have friends to go to like someone's house? Why are you
yeah,
going to your ex's house? Like, this
yeah,
is so
it's
problematic.
a big problem. and
Yeah.
and it's only like, and they're all, the comments were like, like the first thing I did when I came to Bombay was made friends, and those friends became my family. And I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, that's exactly how it should be. But like, then
Yeah.
we never see the woman's universe. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what ended up becoming problematic for so many of those films, because then what ended up happening was that women made the guy the universe. And so
Yeah.
so that there was always that power dynamic shift a little bit, uh in
Yeah.
the in those films.
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
But
Oh.
coming back to the structure of this,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
shows very interestingly to do that. He has that call with the mom, he has the moment with the dad when he sees the
Hmm.
speech, and then he gets caught.
Yeah. Yeah. He's almost arced, but there are
Ah,
consequences for his action.
yes.
It was well
Like,
done. Yeah.
yeah, that was an interesting choice, and like, I think maybe the right choice in this situation.
It is absolutely the right choice because that's when you feel for the character. If
Yeah,
you had got him caught when he was an asshole, I would
yeah,
not have any emotions for him. I'd be like, yeah, he got what he deserved. Like, continue, you know?
yeah,
But
and
if you want the audience, yeah,
it would feel like he arced because of the jail time, all that.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Jail works.
Yeah,
That is the conclusion of the film.
yeah. That would have been like, jail is good. Everybody get caught.
Yeah. Oh God, the penal system is rehabilitative in nature. Oh God, yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, that and structurally also, I mean, if you want to be on the side of the character, you have
Yeah,
to create that shift, emotional shift, so the
yeah,
audience,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Good.
yeah, the final return of the elixir is them making Bleeding Madras successful. And very long return with the elixir scene usually is just, I won the
Very long.
trophy. Oh, yeah, this is a 20-minute sequence where
Yeah,
they're
correct.
showing that he knows how to make money honestly too. Then he
Yeah,
has his father's love back. He has and the kid, and they are listed on the stock exchange. They're all apparently equal shareholders or whatever. So
yeah,
there is
yeah,
a little bit of insider trading going on.
There
though.
is. It's all sorts of different scams.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I'm just like, you might be selling this well, but like, I was like, let me ask Akshay. I haven't worked as a CA in a very long time, but this is insider trading, saying buy out all the shares and then,
this is insider trading.
yeah,
So when you said it was the right way of doing business, I'm like, no,
yeah.
I don't think
No,
that.
no,
Like,
no, no, no.
this is still
Yeah.
another of his like clever scams,
Clever scams, yeah.
like using the loophole to his benefit.
They didn't think that through. Like, or maybe the writers, sorry, Parmeet, were like, they didn't realize the implications of insider trading, like material non-public information. This is my
Yeah,
CACFA
वो
coming out.
वापस जेल
But,
जा सकता था.
boy, this is big. Like,
Yeah,
this is a big problem. So,
yeah,
but by that point, you're just on the character side and you
yeah.
know
You
they're
don't
going to
care.
succeed. Nothing's
Huh,
going to,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And also, like, this is the thing about these kind of films that even if there is a logical loophole, you sort of give into it. You
Yeah.
don't fuss about it too much.
No,
Like
no.
all these heist movies, there is a little bit of suspension of your disbelief from the get go. Like,
Get go. Yeah.
you know that this is created.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And now that you've said that, I'll go into my next point, I guess, which is of suspension of disbelief. It's a very small one, not of the insider trading bit, but of the disguises bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all putting on disguises when they're doing these different trips to Bangkok and all of that. And I'm like, the big logical loophole is that you all are going on international trips, passport to same hai. You're going on
Huh.
the same passport, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, big suspension of disbelief there. But it works because of two reasons. A, it's the tone of the film. The tone of the
Hmm.
film is young, it's playful.
Yeah.
So they have to have them doing almost a childlike thing.
Huh.
And B, the second thing is, like you said, it is the trope of the film, where it
Hmm.
is, this is heist film light, right? It's not heist film, but it's heist film light.
Huh.
So you expect disguises.
Yeah.
You expect something of that genre. So you suspend your disbelief a little bit because going, you know, as an audience, somewhere subliminally, internally, even if you don't know it, like as a screenwriter would and say this is a trope, you know, ki,
Hmm.
yeah, this is par for the course. This will happen.
Hmm.
Also, what they've done in doing this is that they've not drawn too much attention to it, but they've
Hmm.
made them have consequences where they're
Hmm.
caught by the port trust authorities guy. So they
Hmm.
know that this is not exactly working, like there is something
Hmm.
off, and they've had consequences for it. So they've said that yes, you're suspending your disbelief, but we know that this is a little not perfect for what we're doing.
Huh.
We know that there are flaws in this, so let's point out the flaws, let's have them caught for it.
Yeah.
So that is why it works.
It's the thing which I think a lot of writers now do, that before the audience can call it, you only just put
You
it
only
in the
call it out.
script.
Exactly. And
Huh.
that's a
Yeah.
screenwriting technique, right? The technique is
Technique.
that you can do something imperfect, but
Huh.
you have to call yourself out on it. And instead of believing that your audience is stupid enough to go along
Yeah.
with something like that, you assume
Hmm.
your audience is smart and you
Hmm.
let the plot carry on the basis of that, but then you call it out.
Yeah. Correct.
So, suspension
Uh,
of disbelief technique.
yeah. Even when we were writing Ishq in the Air, the whole airport chase sequence, and
Yeah.
now in today a rom-com and airport chase sequence such a cliche, right?
Yeah.
It's the most cliched thing done, but for some reason we were insistent on having it because it still gives a grand high. So,
Yeah.
so we did that thing of calling the character out. Ki, are you doing the chase to the airport thing? Like,
Yeah.
it's that. So
That,
you're also
exactly.
stating the obvious a little bit so that you can't fool the audience
Mhm.
completely.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, this is the hero's journey, a screenwriting technique on suspension of disbelief.
Hmm.
And now, do you want to go into character?
Yeah, let's do the character.
Mhm. Yeah. So, in terms of technique, when it comes to character, I have two techniques which I noticed, which I want to point out.
Okay.
The first is Shahid's character in the opening itself,
Hmm.
where they establish it. We went over this technique in, I think, Koi Mil Gaya, but because I found it here, techniques are, I want to point out techniques because even if it's repetitive, it shows that it works.
Of
That's
course. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Shahid's character when they're all in the cab in the very opening of the film, and
Hmm.
Chang and Vedas's character at the back, and Shahid's character's in the front. And Chang and Vedas are arguing about their grades and stuff like that. And then they say like, "Hey Shahid, what about you?" And they're like, "Hey,
Huh.
ye to top karega."
Yeah.
And what it does is it sets up the character from the other character's perspective. So
Hmm.
if other people are calling him smart, the character is assumed to be smart.
Smart.
So this is again other people like them, that trait.
Hmm. Yeah.
And what I like about other people liking them as a trait, while it is tell not show,
Huh.
what it does is it saves you a whole scene of having to show the character smart because
Yeah.
you have other characters buy in. You
Yeah.
avoid the whole scene and the audience kind of believes them.
Right.
So I think this is a very economic tool and technique.
And this works. Like
Yeah.
this works, and how? I'll tell you the best example of that, which
Yeah.
was in Fleabag. This happened
Okay.
where, so she is now starting to hang out with the priest. This is in season
Hmm.
two.
Yeah.
Okay, and Andrew Scott at that time we knew him as Moriarty from Sherlock. So
Yeah.
we have a different
It will
image of him.
change. Yeah.
But but the thing is that now we have to start seeing him as this hot priest. So
Yeah.
so when he's walking, she makes it go like, oh, his arms, his
Yeah.
neck, you
Neck.
know,
Yeah.
and oh, his neck, and like
Hmm.
that immediately, like what you said, that the character likes him, so we as an audience now start
Yeah.
feeling that shift,
Shift.
and
Yeah.
I quite like the technique.
Yeah. I think it just taps into psychology, right? That we're such like sheep
Yeah.
as human beings. Like we have no original thoughts. That's why we're so easily manipulated. That if someone's like, "Oh yeah, this is great," unless you have like a strong experience that contradicts the same,
Yeah. Yeah.
like you're like, "Yeah, sure, this is great. What evidence do I have to the contrary? I believe you."
It's the oh, this is popular. Yeah, this is popular.
Popular.
Like
This is
it's
great. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, that is one technique. And another technique I liked was this comes very fleetingly,
Hmm.
but it's about establishing a solid relationship between people that dates back like years. How do
Hmm.
you do that quickly? And you
Hmm.
do that by establishing familiarity between the characters. So they
Hmm.
do this well in this scene where Shahid wants to take Anushka out, and he goes to Vedas's character for the car, and he
Hmm.
asks for the car, and Vedas lies and says it's not working. And Shahid immediately calls him out. And he's like, I know you stutter when you lie, so like quit doing this.
Hmm.
And he's like,
Hmm.
I'll pay you back now. I'll give you like a tank full, like your tank full with gas. And he's like, I know you don't have like two pennies to rub together.
Hmm.
So it shows that they have a friendship that dates back because they have all this to build, all this experience to build on. So I think
Hmm.
that's a great technique to show a relationship which has been running a long time is to show their
Hmm.
familiarity with each other, show that they know each other so well that
Yeah.
only two people who go back so long could know each other.
Hmm. That's very interesting. I almost forgot about that moment because it seemed a little insignificant, but now that you
Yeah.
mention it, it obviously is so important because that becomes the falling out as well. It
Yeah.
comes back later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. One more thing about Shahid's character, which I thought was interesting that they did, was that the first time he's going through the Port Authority. No, this actually happened when he first met Anushka's character. He does the cross thing,
Cross.
you know,
Yeah.
and then when he's going through the airport metal detector, that's again
Yeah.
he does that, and
Yeah.
and they bring it in the very end when he
And
sees her
yeah.
pregnant.
Right.
I
Yeah.
do think they could have done it a little more.
For sure,
No,
yeah, because it was
yeah,
a character trait, so we should have
yeah,
seen him do it. But
yeah.
now that we've gone there, let's get into that a little bit. It
Hmm.
shows that he's a nervous kid, right?
Hmm.
But through
Yeah.
the arc, he stops doing it because he stops being nervous. He literally says, I am
Hmm.
God, right? So God
Hmm.
doesn't need to cross his fingers. So I think
Hmm.
it was quite intentional that he stops doing it. They haven't focused on
Hmm.
it. What they should have done is ideally, for example, had two bank scenes. In one
Hmm.
bank scene, he's waiting to get the loan, maybe at the start of the film, where he does this, and then you have the later bank scene where they're scamming them and his fingers are completely uncrossed, or he's
Hmm.
tapping on, maybe like being very confident. So that
Yeah.
would have really been a good visual moment of his arc, because back
Yeah.
when he's with Anushka, his confidence has gone again. He's back to being
Yeah.
a bit of a nervous kid. So that's why this
Yeah.
comes back.
Yeah.
But that
I do
is,
think what you're saying, if at the time of the first scam, if they
yeah,
would have shown that, it would have like been nicer. And
nicer.
at the
Yeah,
at the bank scene, they could have just focused on his hands a little bit, like
yeah,
very steady on the bench or something.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not
Like
hidden under the table, just there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that would have
So
been a stronger motive throughout the film.
yeah, definitely a good symbol. So
Hmm.
yeah, for sure. But the attempt was made, so it was there. It was there.
Yeah,
I think maybe this was not the they just didn't have the time to get the shot of his hand, or
I
it was
guess.
forgotten, like the pickup was not taken.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. You never
Hmm.
know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I have about character. Do you have anything more?
But one more thing about the interesting thing about characters was the first time see the four of them together is in the aeroplane,
Hmm.
and we immediately understand the three of their characters, all the boys. It's like, we see the boy is like Chang's character is excited about the free alcohol in the flight.
Yeah.
Veer Das's character, they do that scuttling from left to right so that he can sit next to Anushka Sharma's character.
Yeah.
And Shahid Kapoor's character almost seems unfazed by anything, all these
Yeah.
petty wants of life. But again, my grouse is with Anushka's character.
Oh, don't
What,
even do that.
like, it's just they want to force her to be quirky, so she's doing that.
I know.
But
There's no payoff of it later.
no
She's
payoff at ever. It's not
uh,
like they mentioned she has trouble sleeping in a hotel room, like nowhere, like
no,
nothing.
no. She
And
just goes and sleeps on the
yeah,
airplane floor because she's different. वो किसी की
and
सुनती नहीं है.
I'll just say, guys, please don't do this. Like,
Yeah, no,
don't force a quirk,
no.
like where it's
If
just
there's not going to be a payoff of it, don't do it.
don't
Like
do it.
it
And
is.
yeah, and I just feel like it's a disservice to the female character. Like
Yeah.
they didn't do that uh adjacent scene with any of the male characters. Like all
Mm-hmm.
of the other characters, like opening shots were in line with who they were.
Yeah.
This just seemed very extraneous, very
Yeah.
it almost felt like it belonged in a sitcom like 30 Rock.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like because they have all these like farcical moments which come and go fleetingly. But
Yeah.
this is your introduction to her. Like
Her.
shouldn't do
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Exactly. Something very relevant to her needs to come in.
Yeah,
Sure.
correct.
But that being said, I would like to segue into something relevant about her, which they have used, and
Hmm.
that is the Chekhov's gun trope, where you set
Hmm.
up a gun and you have to use the gun later, right? And here
Right.
it is Bulbul's scissor. I think it's a very sweetly done move where she's putting a scissor through security, and they're like, "Bro,
Yeah.
you can't take the scissor with you," and they're like, "Okay, fine, whatever." But then later, when she gets propositioned at the modeling agency, she pulls out the scissor. You don't see her stab
Yeah.
the guy, but you kind of know
Yeah.
what's happened. So I thought
Correct.
that was a nice setup and payoff, good Chekhov's gun move.
Yeah.
And I think they've done this in a few moments. They've set up the 25-year honoring of Shahid's dad award, and then they've
Hmm.
used it later. They've set
Yeah.
up the I only use coffee. I only let my boyfriend or my husband pay for coffee, and
For
then she
coffee.
brings that back. So
Yeah.
this Chekhov's gun moment, scene, symbols are quite well used across the film.
I agree. Like a lot of
Mm.
the scenes do have setup and payoff,
Yeah.
like nicely
Yeah.
done.
Okay. So the world, like I mentioned before, I think it's really interesting that they chose to set this in 1994. The film opens in 1994. And since we're on the opening, let's talk about the opening of the film.
Hmm.
It is a voiceover sequence.
Hmm.
And if you've worked with anyone in any capacity when it comes to screenwriting, you know that voiceovers are like a big no-no, right?
Yeah.
I know you all do that in Mismatched all the time, where each
Yeah.
character gets a voiceover in the episode.
Yeah.
But because voiceovers are telling, not showing, it is
Hmm.
considered in general lazy, right?
Yeah.
Like the same way flashbacks are considered lazy. Like we have to do a film where they use a lot of flashbacks so we can talk about flashbacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, this voiceovers have to serve a very specific purpose.
Yeah.
And I think in the opening image, what they've done well is instead of just telling you that, okay, this is Bombay of 1994, we have, X, Y, and Z traits. What they've done is elicited the emotion of nostalgia through the
Hmm.
technique of contrast.
Hmm.
So, where I'll bring out a few lines of dialogue that they say. यहाँ
Okay.
एफएम का मतलब फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर हुआ करता था, रेडियो
Huh.
नहीं. जहाँ
Correct.
बच्चे कंचे के साथ खेलते थे, एक्सबॉक्स के साथ नहीं.
Hmm.
जहाँ टीवी पे सिर्फ दो चैनल हुआ करते थे.
Hmm.
So what they've done is they have shown you the present. For example, Xbox and marbles. Like Xbox
Hmm.
shows you where we are right now in 2010,
Hmm.
vis-a-vis the marbles. And
Hmm.
everyone watching the film has
Hmm.
a memory because this is still 14 years into the past, right? So
Yeah.
you're like, oh, this is nostalgia. This is my time. So
Hmm.
they have not told you what's happening, they have created a feeling of emotion. So this
Yeah.
is when you can use a voiceover successfully because the voiceover can't just give you facts. A
Yeah.
voice has to have an opinion.
Opinion.
It has to
Correct.
give you something. If it's telling you something, that something has to be something that you can't say on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is when you
Like
can use a successful voiceover, right?
correct. I do think like a show like I've only seen first season of You. They used to
Yeah.
have the like because he's such a predator kind of a guy in the
Hmm.
so they did that voiceover bit very cleverly where you can't voice out each of his like thought processes.
Yeah, you can't even
So
see them. Yeah.
you can't even see them. So that does a good job. And so does
Yeah.
this film, like you said, it creates like an sort of the world is built now, you know?
Hmm.
You understand what's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Another thing about the world I want to bring up, which I hinted at earlier, was the green card conflict.
Hmm,
While it came out of nowhere, the fact that Shahid got married to get a green card so that he could continue his business operations in America was a conflict very derived from the world,
hmm,
I thought, and also very relevant to the time because they moved to America. It was too easy that they moved, and I
yeah,
get it that visa controls weren't as hard as they are right now in Mr. Orange Face time,
yeah,
but it's it made sense, and I thought that, and they used that well to do the
yeah,
relationship between Anushka and Shahid to have the break between them. What they hadn't done is even hinted at it earlier or seeded it in, which
yeah,
is why it came really left field out of the blue. It was quite jarring and choppy, but the conflict was very true to the world and the time.
yeah.
So
Fully,
give it
fully
that.
agree.
And now my biggest thing is the theme
एक second.
of the film.
One
Yeah.
more thing. I want to talk a little bit about the world in a very non-story way,
Yeah.
in the sense that this is that mid 2000s like Yash Raj movie, right? And
Yeah.
and like I think I told in Band Baja Barat also there was this they have the classic walk like
Yeah.
of like when your characters have really like done something and achieved something and you know these people are together they walk towards the screen, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we saw that happen in Band Baja Barat with Anushka Sharma only when they
Yeah.
form Shadi Mubarak. We see it in this film when the four you know come together for the first time, and at
Hmm.
the end, at the resurrection sequence, you see that walk happening. Uh,
Mm.
we'll see this in Bunty or Bubbly also. We'll see in Chak De India also. All of it will come, and I think it's their own way of curating the world as a producer voice of sorts
Yeah.
similar,
Yeah.
which I think is interesting. Like, you know, a lot of like production companies are starting to realize this pattern. And I think
Hmm.
that's interesting.
That's fun. Yeah, it's the voice of the production company. That's very
Yeah,
cool. The creative
yeah,
voice.
yeah.
Huh.
And it's their own world. Like, you know, this is, you know, back in the
How
day,
our characters behave.
huh? Like they used to say like this is not how our film would produce a movie. You know, like this is
Yeah.
the producer's stamp, which
Stamp.
I think
Yeah.
is it's I think it's going out a little bit, which is good for the films because
Hmm.
because it allows the producers to take different kinds of risks.
Risks.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, but this was that time, like when
Yeah.
Yashan was quite at its peak, like they were only like the mid 2005 to like like mid 2010s, like they were doing a good
Yeah.
job of producing these really fun young films.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, from that high note,
Yeah.
I will go into my the theme.
Hmm.
And I think theme and world are very interlinked in this film
Hmm.
because, well, I'm analyzing it from someone sitting in 2025, not
Hmm.
26.
Hmm.
And obviously, we're living in absolute madness, Kalyug.
Hmm.
Like the world is burning around us. We're watching God knows what being streamed live on our Instagram feeds and sitting and feeling helpless and powerless.
Yeah.
And but even 2010 was after the 2008 financial crash.
Hmm.
So we had seen a certain amount of, systems being disrupted and all of that. We had lost faith in banks, in
Hmm.
our systems that rule us.
Hmm.
So the fact and the theme of this film is that you have to be able to become rich on the basis of honesty and hard work.
Hmm.
And I think that is why they had to maybe set this film
Hmm.
in the late 1990s,
Hmm.
because that theme right now doesn't hold relevance. Even in
Hmm.
2010, maybe it didn't hold relevance. Like if I think back to like the stress on my dad's face during 2008,
Hmm.
like because of the cascading consequences of everything happening in the States, it was this like hard work. I will say right now, having worked so hard in the film industry, that hard work doesn't get you anywhere, right?
Hmm.
So the fact that they wanted to send this message for whatever
Hmm.
reason, that hard work and honesty and integrity will give you the results you want, you have to set it in this world post liberalization where you're like, there is hope, the country is opening up, the economy is opening up. Oh, we'll go to America, which is still the land of dreams. There is hope, we can make money there.
Hmm.
That is why they chose this time period. It wouldn't have landed in setting it in 2010. You needed to have naive hope, which they gave us
Hmm.
through the characters and also the world in which the characters lived.
That's a very interesting perspective, Ananya, because I never thought like clocked why the setup in '94 like that. I
Hmm.
just thought it's easier to pull off a heist in '94.
So 90
There
Maybe
was
that
no
was it. Maybe that was the thinking. Like, I don't know. I
like
thought too much into it.
there was no phone. They don't use
Yeah.
biometric for passports.
Yeah.
Uh, so stuff like that. I thought like every time when I'm writing something, I'm like, oh, why does a phone exist right now? Like like
Yeah.
because you lose action, right? Like
Action, you lose drama, you lose build up, you
you
lose
lose
all of that.
you lose the urgency of the fact that, oh, if my character has to go meet his friend or like his girlfriend,
Yeah.
he'll have to do hard work, but a video call is available
It's
now,
available. Exactly. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that
It's
was
made
what
a lot
I
of plot points irrelevant.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
correct,
a lot of scenes and tropes,
yeah,
but completely unrelated to everything we're saying.
yeah.
But yeah, but no, you're absolutely right. Maybe they didn't set it up
No,
in the
no, you're
1990s.
right because it's the opening sequence of the film. They did think it through.
Right. They did think it through.
They
Yeah.
did think it through. Like we can't take that away from Parmeet. We'll
Yeah.
say
No,
Parmeet
no.
as if he's our friend.
And yeah, yeah, funny. It's our friend. He will be maybe after. We've said mostly nice things only about the movie. So,
Yeah, yeah.
like, yeah.
So, but because it's your initial 3 minute sequence and it's like written well, like the dialogues you mentioned,
Yeah.
they're like nicely thought out dialogues. So
Yeah.
that makes it interesting. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I thought the theme would only land in this day and age. If you told me that work hard and be ethical, you would get slapped. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not happening. But I think they needed the sentiment and the gusto of that time to kind of make
yeah,
this film land.
yeah. And it's again a sentiment of the youth, right? Like what these
Yeah.
sort of films you were talking ki, like being the rebel, being the one speaking talking against the system, and
Hmm.
really like defying the society in terms of who should be rich and who should get to be rich. uh,
Yeah.
like how can one decide for us, you know?
Absolutely. And I love that. That part is great. But the fact
Yeah,
that they're brought down to their knees, which is where the theme of the film lies, is
yeah,
where I'm just like, no, 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 no. It's by scamming the system that they should be fine. That's how everyone makes money these days.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So that's I think they started off on the right note, but thematically, what the film has to say, sitting in 2025, I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I get that, but I get what they're also doing is that you they would need to bring that societal consciousness a little bit. Like, they say the good over evil
Well,
morality,
yeah,
the
yeah,
stuff like that. Like, they will have
yeah,
to address it. Otherwise,
they
the
do.
hmm,
But what I think needs to be done is then you need to show evil systems falling, not people who
yeah,
are trying to make a quick buck. You need to show Jeff Bezos like
uh,
coming, being brought down to his knees, not these little guys who are sitting in the middle and scamming people. Like it's always the small guy who gets caught, but the actual person controlling the puppet strings never gets caught. So we are
honest,
telling common people that you be good, but the systems who are controlling you will be really bad, and that's okay. There are no consequences for them, but there are consequences for you
yeah,
simply because you were born at the level at which you were born.
yeah.
This is
It's
all
that
getting
no,
cut out because this is not
it's
part of the podcast, but
it's
yeah,
that no, like the big fish never get caught.
caught.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so that was our breakdown of the techniques, the tropes, tricks of writing a film like Badmaash Company, of writing Badmaash Company. You guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you want us to do next. If you're watching, if it's only mom watching, hi mom. And yeah, that is it. And we will see you on another episode of Breakdown Besties. See ya.
Bye.